One rainy day, Cody went to visit Sandy. "We can't play outside," Sandy told Cody. "What should we do?" "Let's play sink or float," Cody said. They found a large container and filled it with water. "We need to be careful," Sandy exclaimed. "We don't want to spill any." "We're always careful," Cody replied. "I'll try this ball first," said Cody. "It's light, so I bet it'll float." "I've chosen this rock," Sandy replied. "It's heavy, so it'll probably sink." The ball bobbed to the top and the rock sank down. "Our predictions were right," Cody said. "I'd guess this wooden block will sink too," Sandy said. "It feels heavy." When she put the block in, though, it didn't sink. Instead, it bobbed on the surface like the ball did. "My prediction wasn't right that time," she told Cody. "My turn. I'll try this dinosaur," Cody said. "That won't float," Sandy replied. "It's too big." "It won't float," Cody agreed, "because it's going to..." "Cannonball!" Cody exclaimed. Water splashed everywhere. Cody and Sandy were as wet as the dinosaur. "Oh my," Sandy said. "Why'd you do that?" "Because it's fun to get wet," Cody replied. "You're right," Sandy agreed. "Look, the sun has come out. How do you feel about going for a swim?" "Let's do it," Cody said. It turned out they both liked to cannonball too. Rhea loved to read. Most days, she chose nonfiction books. There was always so much to learn from them. Sometimes she wanted something different to read, though. Today, she pulled a book about fairy tale creatures off her shelf. "Look at all these playful fairies," Rhea said to herself. "They have such dainty wings." Rhea found pictures and stories about elves, gnomes, and trolls too. "They are amazing," Rhea exclaimed. "I love this book." Then Rhea turned the page to find an underwater world full of mermaids. Their hair was every color of the rainbow. The mermaids swam upside down and sideways through the water. "Wow," said Rhea. She daydreamed about becoming a mermaid herself. Rhea could picture herself under the sea, breathing through gills. She would have a scaly tail and fins to help her swim. If she were a mermaid, Rhea could play in the waves all the time. She could remain underwater forever and do exciting things like study sharks. Maybe she'd even become friends with all different types of sharks. During the day, she'd see moray eels up close and swim with stingrays. At night, she could hang out with squid and rest with the sea snails in the coral reef. "Being a mermaid is the best," sighed Rhea. "Just look at those mountains," Rhea exclaimed. "They'd be too tall to climb, but now I can swim right over them." Rhea swished her tail and swam off to explore the rocky terrain. Rhea closed her book and went to her bookshelf again. "I loved my mermaid adventure," Rhea said. "I can't wait to go on another one." She looked at 2 other books. "Now, where should I go next?" she asked. Aloe, Sandy, and Peck arrived at the beach one day and noticed something was off. "The beach is a mess," Aloe exclaimed. "Somebody needs to clean it up." "We can all clean the beach," Peck said. "Yes," Aloe agreed. "Let's get started right away." "What do we need to do, Aloe?" Sandy asked. Aloe looked around. He wasn't sure where to start. He also hadn't realized that his friends would expect him to lead their team. "Just look around and see what you want to clean," Aloe told them. Peck began working right away, but... "Peck, what are you doing?" Aloe asked. "Cleaning up the trash so Sandy can bag it up," Peck replied. Aloe watched Sandy work. "Sandy, you shouldn't sweep away shells and rocks," Aloe told her. "They belong on the beach." "Oh," Sandy replied. "What should I do instead?" Both of his friends were looking to him, but how could Aloe help them? Being a leader wasn't easy. Aloe wasn't sure he could do it. But if the beach was clean, it would be healthier for everyone. It was a good reason to try extra hard. So Aloe tried to figure out what a good leader would do. A leader should listen, Aloe thought. He should pay attention to the others on his team. He should think about what needs to be done and how. He should also stop Peck from using that spray bottle. We need a plan, Olo told his friends. Let's see what really needs to be done. There's litter everywhere, Sandy said, and there's a lot of seaweed on the wheelchair ramp, Peck added. I'll help with those, Olo agreed. And if we have time, that bench could use a fresh coat of paint. The friends eagerly got to work on their tasks. We did it! Thanks for helping us get organized, Olo, cheered Sandy. You're a good leader, added Peck. The three of us are a good team, replied Olo. After all, being a leader means being part of a team. Rhea had just gotten her very own skateboard. She was all aglow about having it, but she was worried too. It's so beautiful, Rhea said. I don't want it to get all scratched up. Sandy popped by the next day holding her skateboard. Do you want to go skateboarding with me? Sandy asked. I don't know, Rhea replied. I want to keep this nice and new, but I also want to ride it. Then let's go, Sandy said. First, we need our safety gear to protect ourselves, Rhea told Sandy. They both put on their knee pads. Then they pulled on their elbow pads, wrist guards, and helmets. I'm ready to go, Sandy exclaimed. I think I am too, Rhea said. They coasted toward the skate park until... Whoa! Be careful, Rhea, Sandy called, but it was too late. Rhea lost her balance and took a bad fall. Are you okay? Sandy asked. I'm fine, Rhea replied, but oh no! My board got scratched. Rhea groaned. My board looks old and worn out now. I don't think so, said Sandy. I think it looks even better. You do? Rhea asked. Yes, it looks like the volcano is erupting, Sandy told her. When they finally reached the skate park, Rhea and Sandy rode straight into a large bowl. This is fun, called Rhea. They flowed on their boards from the bowl onto a half-pipe. Rhea tumbled off her board once more, but she didn't mind. At the end of the day, Rhea's skateboard had some more scratches on it. Look, this scratch is from when we tried to do an ollie. Doesn't it look like ocean waves crashing? She told Sandy. Yeah, it's the coolest skateboard ever, Sandy agreed. It was a warm, clear summer night. Cody, Olo, Sandy, Rhea, and Peck got together to do some stargazing. There was going to be a meteor shower that night. They all wanted to see shooting stars. Everyone unloaded backpacks full of snacks to share. I love watermelon, Cody said. Look at the tasty blueberries Peck brought, Rhea added. Olo's homemade cupcakes look yummy too, Sandy said. So does your lemonade, Olo told her. Let's have a snack before we stargaze, Peck suggested. They set up a picnic blanket and dug into the treats. Yum, exclaimed Cody. Should we hop on the tire swing? Sandy asked. Yes, said Cody. We never get to play on the playground at nighttime, agreed Rhea. Now let's look for some shooting stars, said Rhea. They all looked up to watch the meteor shower, but instead of starlight, they found an overcast sky. One raindrop fell, then another. Everyone rushed to put everything into their backpacks. Everyone, that is, except Cody. She began to splash in a puddle. Soon, Peck began to dance around in the rain. Their night of stargazing turned into a dance party. Cody turned cartwheels. Olo did graceful spins. Sandy clicked her heels while Peck and Rhea did a tango. They were having so much fun that nobody noticed that the sky had cleared. After all that dancing, Peck was so tired that he toppled onto the ground. Look, he exclaimed, the stars are dancing too. Wow, let's make a wish, Rhea said. The friends gazed up at the night sky and watched the falling stars. Olo was spending the night at Peck's house. He was excited for the sleepover. As his dad dropped him off, he reminded Olo to be polite and to be a good guest. I'll try my best, Dad, Olo replied. It was very easy to be a good guest at this sleepover. They were having so much fun. Olo and Peck watched a movie and ate popcorn until they were full. They even had a pillow fight. It was getting late, and Olo was ready to lie down and go to sleep. He and Peck washed up and brushed their teeth. Then they headed to bed. Olo closed his eyes and said, "Good night, Peck." "Good night, Olo," Peck replied. Suddenly, a bright light flooded the room. Peck had turned on a nightlight. Olo's eyes opened wide again. Peck seemed to like the light though, so Olo tried to push forward and get some sleep anyway. He was so tired after all. Just as Olo was about to fall asleep, a cold blast of air blew right onto him. Peck had opened the window. Olo sighed and held on tight to his small plush easel. Olo wanted to be polite though, so he didn't complain. At least it's quiet, Olo thought to himself. Then Peck began to talk, and talk, and talk. Olo looked at the clock. It was past midnight, and Peck showed no signs of stopping. Olo was so tired. He sat upright and began to cry. "What's wrong?" Peck asked. "I want to call my dad and go home," Olo cried. "I thought we were having fun," Peck said, confused. "I was," Olo told him, "but the light is so bright and the wind is so cold and I need to sleep." Rhea wanted to start a story club. She was a little worried Cody, Olo, Sandy, and Peck wouldn't want to join. But all of her friends loved the idea. They assembled in Rhea's yard, ready to begin. "Let's sit in a circle," Rhea told her friends. But they didn't hear her. Everyone kept talking about how much fun they were going to have. Rhea struggled to get them to quiet down and listen. Finally, everyone settled down. It didn't last long though. Olo left to lie under a maple tree with his feet up. Peck nestled onto one of Olo's feet. He began writing his story and reciting it in a very loud voice. Sandy shuffled around until she took out a kazoo. She played the kazoo as she scribbled in her notebook. The sound startled Rhea. "What are you doing?" Rhea asked. "I need some music to help me write," Sandy replied. Cody seemed to be writing quietly at first. Then she started to wriggle around. "I'm terrible at this," she complained. "I'll never finish a story." "I'm sure you'll be able to do it," Rhea told her. Rhea had been excited about the story club. Not anymore. There was no possible way anyone could concentrate. Everyone was making too much noise to be able to write a story. "This didn't work at all," she grumbled. "Can we share our stories now?" Peck asked. "Are you done already?" Rhea was surprised. "Yes, I wrote a story about sliding down a rainbow," Olo told her. "And my story is a fable about a spider," Peck added. "Wow," said Rhea. "That's great." "I'm finished too," Sandy said. "So am I." "What about you?" Cody asked Rhea. "I was so worried about your stories that I didn't write mine." "I didn't realize you were writing all along," Rhea said. "Everyone writes in their own way," Sandy replied. Olo and Peck shared their stories. Sandy read about a treasure hidden in a castle, and Cody read about a kickball game. After everyone left, Rhea snuggled up quietly in her hammock. "Everyone writes in their own way," she said, "and this is my way." It was Peck's birthday, and Sandy made a cake for his surprise party that afternoon. She put it on the picnic table next to the fruit and juice, then went back inside to get decorations and balloons. When she came back outside, though, the cake had disappeared. Soon Cody arrived to help with the party. "Someone took Peck's cake," Sandy told her. "The party is doomed." "It's not doomed," Cody replied. "We'll find the cake. Let's look around for some clues." "Look! Someone was chewing seeds," Sandy called. "Do you think these could be a clue?" "There's a whole trail of them," Cody replied. They pursued the trail in a big loop that led them to the pool. "Cake crumbs," Cody said. That's a clue too. Now we have 2 clues, Sandy said. Those crumbs make another trail, Cody added. Let's follow them. Sandy and Cody were in hot pursuit of Peck's cake and whoever took it. With a little more snooping around, they'd find it. They bumped into Rhea and Alo. "What are you up to?" Alo asked. "We're solving the mystery of Peck's missing cake," Sandy explained. Rhea and Alo didn't have any new clues, but they were happy to help. The trail of crumbs continued until it stopped short. "Oof," Sandy exclaimed. "We've run out of clues." "Now we'll never find the cake," Cody added. They all waited at the picnic table for Peck to arrive so they could give him the bad news. "What's everyone doing?" Peck asked. "Someone took your surprise birthday cake," Sandy sighed. "We tried to rescue it, but..." Then she noticed that Peck was covered in something. Could it be frosting? "Peck, did you take the cake?" Sandy boomed. "I did," Peck admitted. "It was so cool that the cake had my name on it, so I flew in and took it." "But it was for your surprise party," Cody said. "Well, I didn't know that," Peck argued, "but I still saved some to share with all of you." "It was kind of you to make me a cake," Peck told Sandy. "Thank you." They all sang happy birthday to Peck, and he blew out his candles. "What did you wish for?" everyone asked, but Peck wouldn't give them a clue. It was still dawn, but Cody had already arrived at Alo's house. Alo's dad was taking them apple picking. The orchard was far away, so they had to get on the road early. On the way, they played games and listened to an audiobook. The drive was fun at first, then it felt as if it was never going to end. Finally, they pulled into the orchard. There was an autumn festival happening. "Where do we go first?" Alo asked. "I want a caramel apple," Cody exclaimed. Alo's dad didn't think that was a good idea because it was still so early in the day. "Let's go to the playground instead," Alo suggested. They pushed each other on the swings and played on the seesaw. They stayed at the playground until lunchtime. Then they sprawled out on the grass to eat sandwiches and drink cold apple cider. A bluegrass band played awesome music. The audience burst into applause. Cody and Alo clapped along too. After lunch, they picked some apples. They filled their bag with red, green, and tawny brown ones. "There are so many different kinds," Cody said. "I know," Alo agreed as he munched on a small green apple. "I can't wait to try one of each." Alo pointed to a tractor-drawn hayride. "Can we take that back to the festival?" he asked his dad. The wagon was old and full of straw. What a fun ride! Afterward, they walked back to the car with their apples. Just as they were about to leave, Cody remembered something. "We still need to get caramel apples," she exclaimed. They walked to the stand and bought 2 candy apples. "Yum," said Alo. "I almost forgot." By the time they got in the car, Cody and Alo were exhausted. They yawned as they ate their caramel apples. "Let's do this again next autumn," Alo suggested, but Cody had already fallen asleep next to him. Cody, Alo, Sandy, Rhea, and Peck were going to build a tree house at the kids' club. They all stood together on the ground, looking at the tree. Everyone was excited. They couldn't wait to begin. But even though they were ready, one big question remained. "How do you build a tree house?" Cody asked. "Let's start with the plan," Peck told her. "We can brainstorm ideas," Rhea suggested. "Then we'll know more about what we want." "I think we should make a tree castle," Alo exclaimed. "Tree castle? What's that look like?" Peck said. "Like this. It can have flowers all around," Alo pointed at his drawing, "and a fountain in front of it." That sounded fun. However, it also seemed very difficult to make. We didn't bring any stones to make a castle, but I have another idea," Cody exclaimed. "Let's make a tree house with a bouncy house inside it." "How would we do that?" asked Rhea. "I don't know," Cody said, "but it sounds cool." I doubt we could fit a bouncy house in that tree, Rhea said. What do you have in mind for the tree house? Sandy asked. I think we should build ourselves a tree library, Rhea replied, with comfy chairs surrounded by books. That sounds too heavy, Sandy frowned. The tree house would fall down. Do you have a plan, Sandy? Peck asked. Of course, Sandy replied. Let's build a tree house with a skateboarding ramp on the outside. Wow, that seems dangerous, Rhea replied. Those ideas all sound so cool, Peck told them, but they also sound too hard to build. Maybe we should keep it simple for now, Olo agreed. I think we need something like a bird's nest, Peck said, with a strong foundation and a sturdy tree house on top of it. That is a great plan, Cody said. Everyone else agreed too. So they drew up a layout and began to build the foundation. It was hard work. First they ran out of wood, then their hammer broke. Sandy even got a huge splinter. Ouch, she howled. Somehow the treehouse came together though. They were all so proud of what they had built. Let's all climb up and have an ice cream party, Peck suggested. They played in the treehouse until sundown, and then made plans on what to build next.